guys, it's Alvin and welcome back to my channel. Yeah, this whole new video almost every Sunday thing is kind of getting to me, and I feel like I've been neglecting you guys lately, which is why this week's video, if you saw the title, yes. All this week, I don't know if you've been seeing my Instagram stories or my Snapchat stories, that I've literally been living a week of nostalgia slash 90s slash throwbacks. And my good friend Tyler actually wanted to do a 90s video, and I think I'm actually going to do a video with him. So Tyler, this is not that video that you thought we were going to be doing, so it'll be a different one, so just you worry about that later. And if you also notice, my room is a lot more different now. It's a lot more interesting looking. It's a little bit more lively than how it used to be with the LED with the lights. It's got the pictures, it's got a nice background because change is good sometimes. But anyways, so in the honor of living this week as a throwback slash 90s slash nostalgia kind of week, that is why for this week's video it's going to be a haul slash my favorite things video. 90s slash nostalgia edition. Some of these items might not be in the 90s, but I grew up with these, and these I consider 90s slash nostalgia, so I guess the title is 90s slash nostalgia haul slash favorite things. Anyways, let's get this video started now. Okay, so first thing on this list is going to be my trusty DS Lite. If you notice, there is a green Game Boy Advance game in here, and this is actually Pokemon Leaf Green version. Literally all this week I've been playing Pokemon Leaf Green, and I've just literally been the happiest I've ever been just even playing this because, hello, it's my childhood reborn. Technically this wasn't released in the 90s, but released more like in the early 2000s, and I consider this still throwbacky. And the good thing about it is that you can actually play DS games up here or Game Boy Advance games here, so that's why this baby has been keeping me happy. I can have the best of both worlds. While we're on that subject, I also managed to find this game right here, and this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters. And if you didn't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was the most epic show ever, don't at me, when I was a kid growing up. I would collect all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. Actually, you know what? I actually have Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards here. Give me one sec. So here are the cards, and here is the Dungeon Dice Monsters game. The difference between the Dungeon Dice Monsters game and the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game actually was later during the season of Yu-Gi-Oh! They actually started switching to this game called Dungeon Dice Monsters, which is basically the same as dueling, except you throw the dice and then your monsters come out, and it was just a really weird concept and how it worked in the episode, and then they actually made a game from it. And this one is actually a little bit more complicated than the actual dueling game because you can't really like combine or polymerize any of the monsters to make new ones. So this game definitely did keep me entertained for hours as a kid growing up, and I would always just love playing this game. Alright, are you guys sitting down? Because you're about to feel old as I am right now. Before the DS became a thing, I had this. This literally kept me entertained so much as a kid. The fact that this was a Game Boy Color. If you did have any Game Boy Color cartridge games, you can actually play in color. Also, the fact that these came in a variety of colors growing up was one of the best things ever. I had a red one, I had a blue one, and I had this green one that I just conveniently found, and let me just tell you, this, best freaking thing ever. And bonus, it has Pokemon Yellow version on here. Now I have two copies of the yellow cartridge because in one of them I have extremely rare Pokemon that I cannot risk losing, and in this one I just restart it whenever I want to start my adventure all over again because Pokemon is awesome. Growing up, the screen never was lit enough, especially when it get to be nighttime, so we had a simple solution. This little light used to come in handy so much every time I would take road trips with my family, and let me just say, it was a savior. Just playing this in the backseat at nighttime, knowing that I had the ability to make my screen lit, and it still works. Yeah, while we're on the subject of Pokemon, I also did want to mention that I did find this hat, and this is one of my favorite hats ever. Now, I don't really wear it as much as I used to because trucker hats aren't really my thing. I'm more of a dad hat kind of guy, but this freaking hat actually was my favorite. I think this Ash Ketchum hat's actually 6 or 7 years, and okay, time to catch some Pokemon, Pokemaster Alvin. Now, of course, you know that if I have the Ash Ketchum hat, I always have to have a Pokeball right here. I also do have Pikachu right here, so let me just say that I have been a Pokemon stan growing up. The fact that I was playing Leaf Green, the fact that I have 2 Pokemon Yellow cartridges, Pokemon will never die. The only thing Pikachu is missing is his hat, and that's because this is the original Pikachu, not the Detective Pikachu. But I can buy a little fedora, make him a little Detective Pikachu. While we are still on the subject of Pokemon, I want to show you that I bought this the other day. It actually is a Blu-ray, which I know technically these weren't released until recently, but this one actually does have Pokemon the first movie, Pokemon the movie 2000, and Pokemon 3 the movie. I mean, this pretty much needs no explanation because Pokemon, and I'm a Pokemon stan. Alright, moving along from the world of Pokemon, we're actually going to get into another show that I used to love watching growing up, and that is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now, this is actually for the original Game Boy. Now, I haven't played this one in forever, and I'm actually quite surprised at how long this has actually lasted in my collection without it being broken or damaged. The other thing that I also love about the Power Rangers universe was the fact that I have one of these. This is a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers wrist communicator. If you've seen the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, you know that this is what the Power Rangers actually used to communicate communicate with each other and teleport to the command center as well as other places that they desire. The only downside about this is that it actually doesn't make the noises or anything. It's literally just a prop bracelet. If you just wanted to cosplay as Billy, then this is pretty much your best bet. Now, I haven't worn this one in years, and look at, ooh, it's so freaking beautiful. Literally, I haven't worn this in years, and oh look, you can see Peaches right there. I haven't worn this in years, so I think that it's actually going to be super freaking massive on me. And right, it clicks, and oh look, do you see? It's Morphin time. Oh yeah, see, you definitely see that this bracelet has gotten a lot more longer, or my wrist has gotten smaller. Think how neat this would actually be if you can actually teleport. But I freaking love this wrist communicator so much. Lately, I've been obsessed with Harry Potter. Growing up, I always did love reading the books, and sure enough, I'm back into the Harry Potter stage. And these are the games that I actually still play to this day. This is the original Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for the PlayStation 1. And I also do have the GameCube version of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, as well as this GameCube version of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I think the PlayStation version of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is a lot more challenging than this one. I remember telling my brother growing up that I actually wanted a copy of this as opposed to this one because I already had it and I already beat it numerous times. I would tell him that this is a lot more challenging and it's a little bit more of a different storyline, even though it's literally the exact same thing. So while we're still on the subject of Harry Potter, you know that I had to have my very own chocolate frog. Now, I already ate the chocolate frog years ago, but I managed to keep this little baby right here. And of course, with every chocolate frog comes a famous witch or wizard's card. And I got Salazar Slytherin. One of the 4 celebrated founders of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, Salazar Slytherin was one of the first recorded Parselmouse, an accomplished legendlemans, and a notorious champion of pure blood supremacy. His last remaining heir was Lord Voldemort. Alright, so the last thing that I am going to show you is one of my favorite things ever. Growing up, I always loved playing these series. I'm actually playing one of the games right now as we speak. I'm actually looking at my screen and it's still on. And that's going to be the Final Fantasy Collection series. Final Fantasy VII was the first one I've ever played growing up, and I freaking loved it. The fact that they're remaking Final Fantasy VII after they dropped the announcement years ago back at E3, and they just dropped the new trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake, and there's more to come in June, and I'm so freaking excited. I really want them to drop the game at the end of this year because we've waited so long. Come on, Square, you guys have teased us for long enough. Let's just have it. And this one I'm currently playing right now. This is Final Fantasy VIII, and then Final Fantasy IX is going to be next. If you've never played any of the Final Fantasy games, don't worry, you're not missing out. They're literally just like American Horror Story. Each Final Fantasy game has a completely different storyline. None of them correlate, so you're not really missing out anything. So if you want to start off on Final Fantasy, I would suggest you start off on Final Fantasy VII, then VIII, and then IX. That's just me because I love going in chronological order even though they have no correlation with each other. Growing up in the 90s / how it is now, you had to have your strategy guides. I'd literally be lost without knowing what the heck I was doing. This is how you know that this is an old game, when you see that the strategy guide is actually pouring up and be like, ugh, this is just, when I open this, I look at all of the statuses that they have, the characters, like literally, this is nostalgia at its finest. Well, there you guys go. I certainly hope that you enjoyed this week's video of this 90s haul / nostalgic favorite things video. If you guys like this video, or if you just love this little trip down memory lane, then please make sure to give this video a big old thumbs up and drop a comment about what your favorite thing is from the 90s. But yeah guys, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go finish playing Final Fantasy VIII. I'm gonna go edit this video, and it is gonna be up for this Sunday, and I'm so ready for summer. Finally starting to feel nice and warm. Alright, I'm gonna go now. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's video, and until next time, I bid thee fare thee well. Goodbye. Gotta catch 'em all.